Good morning. Thank you so much for deciding to do this practice today. Block would be really useful if you have one. If not, you can modify or you'll be fine without it. Find your comfortable place to start. You can be seated or you can lay down. Give yourself a moment, really rest, settle in. Feel your breath. Where does it go? You can start with one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. Feel into the weight of your own hands. Feel your breath moving into the space beneath you, beneath your hands. Tapping into this quality of moving into all directions. Take a deep breath in there. Open the mouth, sigh it out. And one more like that. Deep breath in there. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Let the hands release down. Open the eyes if they're closed. And feel yourself in the space. And then we'll start today in a nice child's pose. You can make it wide or narrow knee, your choice. Any props you might have been sitting on, set them aside. Press yourself back. And take a moment to feel yourself breathe now into the back of your body. And the rise and fall of the back of your spine, tap into that. And if this is at all too much on your knees, what we're doing next, put a block underneath your pelvis. See, you can start to roll up through the spine, sliding your hands in and bring your hands to your thighs and then push your hands into the thighs, lift the chest up. And then exhale, bend it forward once again in the opposite kind of unfurling sequence. Release your head. And then do it again. Roll yourself up, hands, heels of hands to thighs, lift the chest up. And exhale, melt it forward again. Now you can build onto this if you'd like. As you exhale, roll it up, come all the way up onto the shin bones, lift the chest up, arms up, inhale, and then exhale, release it all the way back down towards child. Inhale again, it's like you're being picked up from the center of the abdomen, round the spine, come up, bring it to just a tiny arc, and then exhale, release it, forward, child's pose. And do this a few more times, finding that wave of motion through the spine. Coming up one more time. Staying up here, reaching up through the arms, bring the legs back to parallel, and then take your right leg, step it forward. You can take your hands to that front thigh and let it shift a bit in and out of the lunge. You can feel that you're pushing that front heel forward and down, lifting up through the chest. And then pause there, sweep the arms up, lengthen through the sides of the waist. Exhale, hands come down, frame that front foot. You can take your hands to blocks if you'd like, send the heel forward and let it rock just a bit here. It's nice sometimes to bend and straighten that front leg. Just talk to your nervous system about straightening into your hamstrings. Maybe the breath comes out as a sigh. And then take that right leg, sweep it back, three-legged table. Flexing the toes down towards the mat and see if you can push through the heel, lengthen through the crown. Pause and breathe, or send the left arm out to the left side. And then if you'd like, start to bend your right heel up towards the sky and see, can you just raise it with your left hand? And then send the leg back to straight and the left arm out to the side. And try that one or two more times. Little bend, lift, reach, and extend it. And then lift, reach, extend it. Put the hand and the knee back down, and then shift yourself forward, lower all the way down to the belly. Slide your hands just a bit wider than your shoulders, and then uncurl into a gentle back bend. Lift your chest up, and exhale, release it down. Finding your initial back bend flow. You can lift and lower, you can move from side to side. You can make it more active by not using your hands much, or you can use the gentle press in the hands. One more cycle there, pressing up. And then exhale, take it back into child's pose. Dome through the inner belly. Inhale, roll up through the spine, reach the arms up high, chest lifts up. And exhale, take it back, child's pose. Two more times like that. Inhale, round. Come all the way up. Exhale, child's. And then the last time, inhale, round. Come all the way up. Step the left foot forward into your low lunge. Heels of hands can be on the thigh, and you're pressing a bit forward, a bit back. It's really kind of increasing the fluidity in your joints, waking up your nervous system into this all-encompassing movement pattern. Then inhale, sweep the arms up, find your low lunge, find your stability. Breathe. More deep breath in there. And then exhale, bring the hands down, send the hips back just a bit and start to extend through that left leg. Again, you can put some movement into this if you'd like. Might bend and straighten, you might be rocking on your heel. We're feeling that relationship between the length in your spine and the length in the back of your legs. One more breath there. Reach the chest forward, take the left leg, slide it back and through three-legged table. Spinning the toes to point down, lift up through your outer right hip, outer right trochanter, just a bit. And then send that right arm out to the side. See if by reaching the arm out to the side, you can feel the spread of your collarbones a little bit wider. And then start to move here. Bend the heel up towards the sky. Maybe you reach back, tap, and then extend it back out. And do it again. Bend, tap, extend it back out. Last time, tap, reach it back out. Set the hand and knee back down. And then slowly lower yourself all the way forward and down to the mat. And again, back bend flow of your choice. Lifting, lowering, moving side to side. Or even taking Shalabhasana, lift up the legs, lift up the chest. So the whole back line of the body wakes up. Draw the shoulder blades back. And then exhale, set the hands with the tops of the feet down, press it back. Child's pose. Losing the socks. You can tuck your toes in child's pose for a moment here. And feel that gentle push back into the metatarsals, the balls of the feet. Open up across the arches. And then start to bring yourself so your hips might come up onto your heels and your hands might stay on the ground here. Or you might be comfortable bringing your hands to the tops of your thighs. Comfortably being a relative term. One more breath here. And now shift it so you can lift your knees up. You're sitting back on your heels and balance. And pause here. Your hands can reach down towards the ground. Notice where your weight falls. Do your heel bones start to come in towards one another? Or go wide? Can you find yourself really centered through your footbed? One more breath there. And then as you exhale, release the hands down. Start to lift your hips up. Step your feet as wide as you'd like. Bend the knees as much as you'd like. Nice, solid forward fold. Shake the head out, no. And nod gently, yes. Put a gentle bend in the knees, scoop up through the inner belly and roll all the way up through your spine. Roll the shoulders onto the back. Stand in your Tadasana, in your mountain pose. And then inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, bend, hinge at the knees, and then unfurl the spine all the way forward. Soft bend in the knees again, roll up through the spine. Sweep the arms all the way up, gentle little arc back. And exhale, bend, roll it forward. Soft bend of the knees. Engage through the glutes there to help support you. Roll all the way up through the spine, reach the arms up. Exhale, hinge it forward. Last time, bend your knees, scoop, sweep all the way up, reach the arms up. And then gently step your right leg forward. And you can let this step around just a little bit here, transferring your weight from front foot, back foot, or even just rocking a little bit from side to side. Until you're ready to settle into your crescent lunge, sweeping up through the arms, reach. Breathe. Feel the hugging in of the space between the hands. And then exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Step your way back into a plank pose. And pause at the top of plank for a moment here. Press back through the heels, forward through the crown. Now spin to the right side of your mat. You can set that left knee down or the outer edge of the left foot. Reaching to your side, plank pose, breathe. And then exhale, release the hand back down towards the mat. Lower yourself all the way down. Inhale, start to curl up without using your hands at first, even hovering them, lifting up through the chest. And then pressing down through the hands. Come up higher. Your version of cobra. It doesn't have to be big. And then exhale, release it. Press your way back. Child's pose with tucked toes. Slide your hands into the tops of the thighs. Fingertips can come down so you can rock up, lift your knees up. And then softly fold forward, releasing the heels down, bow it in. Bend in the knees, a little scoop lift through the belly, roll all the way up through the spine. Inhale, sweep the arms up high. Exhale, hips go back, bow forward. Bend the knees, roll up through the spine, sweep up, reach up, little back bend lift. Exhale, release the hands down and then step that left foot forward. And step it around there. It doesn't have to be this perfect landing spot, right? You're just practicing this big distance of stepping, shifting, little forward, little back, little forward, little back. How do you weight transfer? And then reach into it, ground it, pause in your crescent. Breathe deep. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step your way into plank pose, pause there. Feel like you could almost pull the hands apart from one another and send your sternum forward. And then modified or full side plank. Turn it to the left this time. Feel like you can wake up the side of the body. One more breath. Release the hand down. Last time to lower all the way down. Contact the toes. Gentle lift, baby cobra, hover the hands. See if you can squeeze the shoulder blades gently together. And then set the hands down, lift up your version of cobra. Feel where the shoulder blades land on the back. Exhale, release it down. And this time it's your choice, downward facing dog or child's pose. Make your way back. And maybe this is your first dog of practice. You can pedal out the feet, shift the hips, give the head a little shake, no. And a gentle nod, yes. And one more breath there, just to be. Now transitioning from table or from downward dog, take your right foot, step it forward, and then heel toe it out just a little bit towards the right edge of your mat. Spin the back heel down, and then tent your fingertips out on that left diagonal. And from here, I want you to pulse from it just a little bit. You're coming up and out of the pose just a bit, like you're doing a cat and cow through the spine, rounding as you lift the hips up, and then lengthening it as the hips come down. And feel what that does to the back foot. Can you keep it anchored there? Does it kind of tip with you a lot? And then pause in the extended version, lengthening your chest forward. Maybe you walk your hands forward a bit more and you bow it in. Lifting the inner back thigh. The inner back of the back thigh. Lock your hands back so they are inside of that right leg. Spin your left heel up to the ground. Take your right arm, sweep it to the front of the room and then up towards the sky. Pause in your twist. And then feel that nice axis, that line from heel to crown. Set your back knee all the way down to the mat now. Reach your right arm towards the back of the mat and maybe you pick up the left heel, left foot. And you can catch it, hold it, and breathe. Can you push the foot into the hand and lift your chest up? Exhale gently, let it go. Right hand comes inside of that right foot, tucking your back toes. Step the left foot forward. Mat distance apart from your right, bow it in. Maybe you grab a hold of your opposite elbows. And maybe things kind of wiggle out. I like to feel like my spine just grows a little bit longer. Then releasing the hands down, sink the hips back quite a bit, lift the chest up, and maybe you free the arms, reach them into a really wide chair. And then exhale, hips come up, torso comes down, fold in. And do it again, hips draw back. Try to keep the knees back just to challenge it, not because it's a postural friction. And then exhale, release it. Last time, bend the knees, sink the hips back, lift up through the arms, through the chest, and stand all the way up. Heel toe your feet underneath you more. Hands to your heart, pause. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold yourself in. Inhale, hands can drop, the legs lengthen the spine. And then exhale, step your way back. Your choice here. If you like inner vinyasas, go ahead, put one in. Never a requirement. Breathe for a moment. The place to arrive, child's pose or jog. Maybe sigh. Take that left foot, step it. Really, it's outside the left wrist. Your right heel, spin it down. You might want to bring the foot forward a little bit, whatever's most comfortable for your ankle joint. Walk your hands out towards the right. And then it's a cat and cow. You're lifting up the hips, rounding the spine. And then as you deepen the bend in that front leg, lengthen. Draw your chest forward. And do it again. Exhale. And inhale. One more time. And then pausing it. Keep lengthening forward, forward, forward. Keep the solid bend. And then at the end of it, it might bow. The legs are supporting you here. You're pressing into that back heel, pressing into the front heel. Softly releasing your toes, so they're grounding you too. And then walk your hands towards the inside of that left foot. Spin your right heel up. Lift up your right thigh. Extend the left arm forward. And then rotate. Open to the left. Breath or so there. Now set the back knee down. Keep reaching the left arm towards the back of the mat. And if you'd like, lift up the foot towards the hand. And today, give a little kick of the foot into the hand. The chest lifts. Hug that outer left thigh bone in. And then exhale. Unwind it. Bring the hand inside of that left leg. Lift up your right knee and step the right foot forward. Start to sink the hips back. You can go into that chair variation, or maybe the heels come in just a bit more, and you're in a malasana, squat. Push down through the feet to lift the hips up, spin the legs to parallel. Inhale, slide the hands up the legs, come in towards more long extended spine. Bend the knees from there and inhale. Come all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, arms overhead. And bring it into your heart. Pause for a moment, Tadasana. Sorry, I need to lose a layer. And when you're ready to, inhale. Sweep the arms up towards the sky. And exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step your way back. Downward dog, Adho Vinyasa. What gets you going at this point? Or keeps you grounded? And which is your emphasis? Big, deep breath in. And big, deep breath out. You can grab a hold of your block here. Have it towards the front of your mat. Again, if you don't have it, it's not a big deal. Take your right leg, sweep it up and back, three-legged dog this time, or three-legged table. Press through the hands. Wiggle your toes out there. And then exhale, step the foot forward in between your hands. Angle the back heel for your warrior two, and then come all the way up. Spread your wingspan from right fingertips all the way back to the left. Feel the circumference around the left hip. Almost like you can pick up if you put your hand on the inside, the back of the thigh. Pick that space up as you bend the front leg. Extend the leg towards straight, spin your feet parallel, inhale, lift up through the chest, and exhale, bow it in. Maybe your hands stay on the hips. Maybe you take a different variation. Push into the feet, lengthen through the spine. And maybe even sigh. Lengthen out through the spine. Use your hands or not. Taking the hold of the block and just sliding it within arm reach. Come all the way up. Turn your right toes towards the front of the mat. Reglide your right knee. Warrior two. And then take your right hand. And maybe you reach for your right block. That block. And it can be on the inside of your front foot. So you're taking a version of side angle pose using a block today. Maybe you take your block a little bit lower, press into it, turn the torso, lift up through that almost inner rim, left half of your pelvis, and left arm can reach overhead. You're just using this as a different way of feeling your grounding and using the hand as a gentle push. What information does that offer sensory-wise? To the right side of the shoulder blade, right side of the waist. One more breath there. Bring yourself all the way up. Reverse your warrior. And then since we have the block, grab hold of it in both hands. Spin your back heel up. Tiptoe your back foot in just a bit. And then hands to the block. Float that left leg up to hip height. Warrior three. Lengthen through the chest. We'll slide the block into just the left hand. And take your right arm out to the side. I'm realizing there's a Christmas tree where mine should go. And we're repeating what we did from table pose. See, can you bend that back leg? Can you reach back for it? Can you find it? Tap it. And then re-extend the arm and the leg. And do it again. Bend, tap, or not, and re-extend. Can your parts find each other in space? Last time, bend, tap. Where are you? Extend, and then step that left leg all the way back. Sweep both arms up. Take another low lunge. Maybe a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, release the hands down to the mat and step it back how you'd like. Inner vinyasa, hydration break, whatever you need. Sometimes I just like using blocks to help further that sense of grounding. It's not about getting deeper into the pose. Just feeling as solid in the moment as you can. Inhale, lift your left leg up, three-legged dog or three-legged table. Be aware of that outer right half of pelvis. Press through the hands, reach up. And then exhale, step the left foot forward, angle the back heel down. I kind of set my block there along the way. And come into your warrior two. Spread your wings. Feel your breath. Again, maybe even take your hand, just kind of lift the back of your adductors, your inner hamstrings up on that right leg. Straighten through the left leg. Spin your feet parallel. Inhale, lift the chest up. And exhale again, fold it forward. Arm variation of your choice. I'm keeping my hands to my hips. Almost actually hugging my outer hip points, like I'm trying to draw my thumbs closer together and lift myself up from my own pelvis. Breath can come out as a sigh. And then inhale, engage through the back of the legs, come all the way up. Turn your right toes towards the front of the mat. Glide that, left toes towards the front of the mat. Glide the knee to a bend. And then catch hold of your block, whatever height on the inside of that left leg. And you're using it as a reference point. Ground through there. Maybe you take your right arm and you reach it overhead. Maybe you press back through that right heel cup. What information does it bring to the left side? Another breath or so here. And then inhale, bring yourself all the way up, reverse your warrior, back arm to the back thigh. Left arm is high. Come all the way back up, spin the back heel up, catch the block, shift it forward, and tip up onto the left leg, a version of warrior 3. Press back, imagine you can lengthen that whole inner right seam of your right leg. Block might shift a little bit to the right, left arm goes out to the side. Pause there, or see, can you swim for it? Bend the knee. Can you find your heel? And then extend it back. I'm laughing, it's like the world's hardest sobriety test. Bend the back leg. Can you catch the heel? And extend it back. Last time, bend, catch, making nice neural connections and being able to find your body parts in space. Step that foot way back, lower the knee down, sweep up. Hopefully a nice satisfying low lunge, chest can lift. Breath is strong. And then exhale, come out of it and take it back how you'd like. Down dog, vinyasa, whatever you need. And a moment, down dog for child's. Breath can be a sigh. And then lift when you're ready, the right leg up. Exhale, step the right foot forward between the hands. Angle the back heel for a warrior 1 and come on. Ground into the feet. Lift up through the chest. Breathe. Hands to your heart. Spin the back heel up. One more time, shift it forward. Left hand to the block. Right arm out to the side. And then actually switch your hands. Right hand grab the block. Left arm out to the side. And you have a choice. You could take this into half moon if you prefer. Or bend the back leg once more. Catch the foot or the ankle. Press up like a bow. And then see if you can come up a little higher onto the fingertips on that block. Lift the chest up. You can stay there. You can bend the right knee just a little bit and try for your balance, bringing your hand towards your heart or your arm up towards the sky. Maharajasana. Breathe. One more breath. And then see if you can unfold it the same way. Hand to the block. Let the leg go. Maybe it comes into Ardha Chandrasana from there because it feels good. And then exhale. Release it back down. Step the foot back. Lower the knee down. One more time. Little low lunge. And this time, if you'd like to, set it into a twist. Parivriti.
Konasana. You can, since we've got the block there, if you want, bring the block to the outside of your right foot, set the left hand onto it. And grow your twist from there, only if it feels appropriate, accessible, not like you're wrenching your body through space. Let it go. Down dog, vinyasa, child's pose. A big dramatic sigh. Whatever. Pause for a moment there. Deep exhale, release it. And then inhale, float your left leg up. Exhale the foot forward in between the hands. Angle the back heel down. Warrior one, come up. Feel that. You can be so grounded and yet still move. Sometimes we ground to the point of stasis. We don't want to move. And that's not the emphasis of the class today. Bring the hands down. Grab a hold of the block. Shift your way forward and up. I'm going block on the high side. It's up to you. And for just a moment, extend left arm out to the side, chest forward, right leg back. And then switch your hands. Left hand grabs the block, we turned it to face a different way. Maybe you grab hold of the right foot. Kick into that right foot, into the hand, lift the chest up, keep your chest, lose your balance. Keep your torso squaring towards the front. And if you want to, content the fingers, come up a little bit higher. You might not want to. Maybe you bend the knee, you bring your hand to your heart a little higher. Or lift left arm up towards the sky, full dancer's pose. Another breath here. And then uncurl it. Hand comes down, let the leg go. Maybe it opens up just for a brief moment. Ardha Chandrasana. Rotate it back. Step it all the way back. Low lunge. And I sneakily place the block outside my left foot. And if you'd like to, build it to twist. Hands come into your heart, rotate. Maybe right hand reaches outside. What works? With Jubanchi. I've taken a long time acknowledging I have a scoliosis. So one side twist, yes. The other side, no. Is that going to change? No. Doesn't mean I don't stop going for it in a safe, reasonable way. Rest your way back. Down dog vinyasa. Whatever you need. For me, it's sit back on the heels, rest for a moment in Vajrasana. And breathe. Let your heart rate settle back. I'm only an experiment of one, but I noticed that when I do a big active back bend, my heart rate definitely goes up. Yeah. And then when you come out of the back bend and you come, you're working to see how do you recover from that and how long does it take? But making it be a conscious choice that maybe that sweet nugget in your practice is the ability to recover rather than the ability to do any specific task. So one last simple back bend. I like to do a supported fish chest opener. And a block might not be enough. You might want to block in a cushion. You might want to put yourself on some kind of incline, something like that. For me, I have a block and I do have a meditation cushion to catch the head, but I'm not feeling like that today. Low height, high height, never high height, low height or medium height. I'm sticking with low. Placing the block underneath relates the lower ribs, legs are out long. And then if you can rest your head back comfortably, rest it back. If it's too deep, take a second block, place it underneath your head or a cushion, whatever, make what you have work for you. Settle in for a few breaths here at least. Feel the grounding of your legs. Maybe you even feel a pulse or a hum through the body from your active practice. You tap into that. The more we pay attention to sensation, the more attuned we become to those sensations. And that is true for these interesting grounding sensations, but it's also true for pain or itch or anything, right? We hone in on what we focus on. We make connections to it that leave shadows, they leave their imprint. So maybe this pulse, this energetic hum, whatever you want to call it, chi, prana, right? Maybe that's what you tap into. And practice being in that state. One more breath there. Gently bring your arms in along your sides. Press your elbows down so you can safely lift up through the chest, through the torso. Slide the block out and lay all the way back. You can bend your knees, put your feet flat for a moment. What is the sensation level that you're tapping into now? And then we'll take some time to invert. You might want to bring your legs up the wall, take the Burrito Karani. You might be in a space that's a little chilly. And you grab a hold of a sweater or something like that. My personal favorite inversion of winter is taking a weighted blanket and legs up the wall. If you happen to have that accessible, go for it. In lieu of that, I just want this little bit of grounding sensation on my feet. You could use a block. I happen to have a meditation cushion here, but it could be a blanket, something like that. I'm going to take my legs up. And I'm going to put the weight on my feet. So just that little bit of cushion support helps release the weight into my pelvis, into my thighs. It offers just a bit more grounding. Maybe you're actually practicing in an office and very safely take a big book and put it on your feet. Let yourself settle in here for a good 2 minutes. Feel the movement, the path of your own breath. Tap into the feeling of your breath circling into the back of the nasal pharynx, the back of really it's into the space behind your cheeks, the space up through your forehead. It's this breath circling in through the vast cavities or nasal passages. And then very gently start to release whatever you have. So bend your knees. Would you have something up there? Grab hold of it and put your feet down. Constructive rest. Knees can drape in onto one another. And breath can be a sigh. And then let the knees start to fall over to the left. Maybe you reach your arms. I like to reach the right arm slightly overhead. Left hand still grounding on the belly. Flexing actively to the feet. Knees are in the letter Z. If you want to, you can put your left heel on top or outer ankle bone on top of your right thigh. Feel yourself ground here more than anything. And then shift the legs back up, hand to your belly on the right. Knees shift over to the right. And maybe your left arm goes up overhead. Just emphasizing the outer line. Not drawing your full emphasis there. Set it and then release it. Another breath there. Shift the knees back up, hand to the lower abdomen or lower ribs. And then draw your knees outer shoulder distance apart. You can rock a little bit from side to side there. Maybe you grab hold of the outer edges of the feet and you make it a happy baby pose. Seeing if you can reach your sacrum back down towards the ground, not with any excessive force, but rather than letting it curl up. Maybe you pause in stillness here. Another breath. And then bring the heels back in, draw the legs into parallel, and hug them in that way now. And again, be a little rock. And you decide, what else do you need from your practice here? Is it just to take a Shavasana right away? Any other little movements you need, please go ahead and take them. Do settle yourself in here. Place where you can pause and rest. So this is actually where I will leave you in your practice today. And if you have time to stay in Shavasana for a while, if you need to come right out of it, close a few moments in a comfortable seat. But take your time, you decide what's right for you, what's your endpoint. And as always, thank you so very much for practicing.